wanted to do the Gilded Age, they should have had Christine Baranski and Carrie Coon standing on the red carpet, giving everyone side eye.
Good to see you guys. Yeah, Alonso and I got to actually hang out last night in person.
We got for the first time since what, West Side Story? It had been
like 5 months since we've seen each other in person. So that was really, really fun. So we'll talk about that later on today. We saw the Avatar teaser last night. We did a little short about that. So we'll link to that. We're talking about the Doctor Strange sequel later on today. But first, we've got some news. And of course, our movie house shout out of the week. It is the Belcourt in Nashville, a place that Alonso has been to many, many times.
Yes. My go-to theater when I went to Vanderbilt, I saw Blue Velvet there.
So cool. Yeah, they have been around for nearly a century. They opened in 1925. Their stage is the original Grand Ole Opry stage.
Oh, wow.
That's how historic this place is. They do new films and they do repertory stuff. Yes. So like they've got Petite Maman coming this weekend. They've got Memoria now, but then they're also doing a whole big Douglas Sirk retrospective. Yes,
that is so cool.
How cool is that? It's a beautiful theater, and they have had the Northman there recently, and Nicole Kidman herself came and did a little Q&A before one of their showings. That picture that you're looking at right now, that big long line around the block, is to see Nicole Kidman at the Belcourt, because heartbreak also feels good in a place like this.
And look, she is a queen of country music by marriage.
There you go. So they just live down the road a piece in Nashville, but they do really cool stuff. Like they have a mobile movie theater that goes to schools and community centers, and they want to bring film out to the world. But they are a nonprofit, like all these theaters are, and they were closed for a while, like all these theaters have been. So go find the fine folks at the Belcourt. They could use your support, and they do great work. And Alonso can attest to that.
It's a great theater. Jason Shawhan, who's one of the managers there, is a really terrific critic and curator, and they really bring something to Nashville that I think it is a city that people want to sort of write off as being kind of yokely or whatever, but there's a vibrant art scene in all of the arts, and so they deserve to have a great art house theater as well.
Very cool. Thank you, Belcourt. Some breaking news today. We've got a story out of the Hollywood Reporter, which basically confirms what Alonso said last week. Alonso was right, which is basically that like Vin Diesel drove Justin Lin out of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah. Then it's not like I've got some great insight in this stuff, but it's just like, there's a minimum of suspects involved. So it just seemed kind of obvious. So it would appear based on what a lot of folks are reporting that, Vin Diesel, giant pain in the ass, and more than Justin Lin wanted to or needed to, frankly, deal with at this point in his career.
Yeah, he directed 5 of the 9 Fast and Furious movies, and I guess according to this Hollywood Reporter story, which is like deeply anonymously sourced, there was a notes meeting that escalated. It was Justin Lin and Vin Diesel and a couple of studio executives, and it just got out of hand and led to Justin Lin storming out and slamming the door and saying like, screw this, I'm out of here. So now they are trying to find somebody else, and I guess Louis Leterrier is their front runner, but he's not been signed yet.
Right. Yeah. As somebody I know online said, oh yes, let's hire the guy who let Edward Norton walk all over him during the making of Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. But their choices are limited though, right? Because anybody who could do this is unavailable,
or like, it's like, I don't want to inherit that. If Justin Lin, who is one of the main architects of this franchise, can't cope with the way that the things are set up on that set, like I'm sure a lot of filmmakers are like, yeah, pass, thanks, no, I'm good. If we learned anything from Hobbs and Shaw, is that we can do one of these movies without you, Vin.
But you know what, though, Vin Diesel is so powerful in front of and behind the camera that he gets to look at the script and say yes and no on specific
and I can't lose
sequences.
A fight and all of that bullshit. Yeah, but but at the cost of Justin Lin wanting to stick around. So good luck, whoever takes this thing over. You are inheriting what is now officially a troubled production.
Yeah, with a $300 million budget before publicity, supposedly. So anyway, also leaving, Jon Watts is leaving the Fantastic Four reboot. That's supposed to take place. He did all 3 of the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yes.
And apparently this supposedly has no animosity. This is supposedly like, I'm just tired.
And I don't blame him. Can't imagine how he wouldn't be. Fantastic Four is just one of those, like, they keep trying to make it happen, and it's such a great comic book, but like there's something about translating it to the big screen that no one's quite unlocked yet. But we live in hope.
Last night was the Met Gala. While we were at Doctor Strange,
Yes,
people were walking down the red carpet. The theme was the Gilded Age, which nobody ever really applies the theme to their wardrobe choices. Like some people used to wear like metal. So some people looked amazing. Like Blake Lively, who is one of the co-chairs, did a whole wardrobe change on the red carpet. Like her dress was pink and it became blue eventually. Vanessa Hudgens had this like black sheer lace thing with puff sleeves that like the train flew up like butterfly wings. And I mean, some people did like corseting and like puff sleeves to make it reminiscent of that era.
If they wanted to do the Gilded Age, they should have had Christine Baranski and Carrie Coon standing on the red carpet giving everyone side eye.
Yes, I would go to that. That would be exciting for me. Sebastian Stan wore a hot pink suit. Like, again, I don't understand what that means. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian are in the news all over the place this week because they also went to the White House Correspondents' dinner. But she wore the dress that Marilyn Monroe wore when she sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" to JFK.
The same dress
The
or
exact.
a dress?
No, so on the red carpet, she wore the exact dress, a dress that was so tight on Marilyn that it had to be sewn onto Marilyn.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think the proportions on those two ladies are identical. So I question this unless
she
they
lost
really...
16 pounds to put it on.
Okay.
Allegedly.
More power to her.
Yes, the dress actually lives year round at Ripley's, believe it or not, in Orlando. And so they like took it, took it off of the wax. I don't know. Oh, it's just there. It's just there. Anyway, so Kim Kardashian wore that, but then she wore a replica for the actual dinner. She wore the real dress to walk up the stairs. Also, Pete Davidson apparently has tattooed the initials of Kim Kardashian and her 4 kids on his neck. So when you look at his neck, you can see like it says like K and P.
Being tattooed on the flesh of Pete Davidson is not exactly a place of honor. Like, I'm sure he's got like phone numbers and favorite Chinese restaurant menu items somewhere. Like he's one big doodle pad.
No, he totally means it. I feel really good about this.
Great.
Also, the trailer for Don't Worry, Darling came out.
Welcome to the Victory Project. We're all here because we believe in the mission.
What are we doing?
Changing the world.
What are we doing?
Changing the world.
That's right.
It looks really cool. It's like mid-century, stylish, Palm Springs, like fantastic cars and dresses and furniture, but also kind of trippy, otherworldly. And once again, only Florence Pugh sees what's happening in the world. Everyone else is brainwashed. Thank God Florence Pugh is there.
Always never question Florence Pugh. She knows what's going on.
No. Bill Murray has addressed the reason that production has been suspended on this Aziz Ansari film. Supposedly he had a quote unquote difference of opinion with a woman on set. He said during a CNBC interview, quote, "I did something I thought was funny and it wasn't taken that way." So maybe that's growth.
Maybe that's a statement that was handed to him. I don't know. This all sounds real vague. Like there's a lot that could encompass any number of things. So I want to hear the ladies' take on this and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. So that is still, I believe, suspended. I don't think that they have resumed production on that film. And then some sad news this week.
Yes.
Naomi Judd died.
Yes.
This is horrible. She was 76 years old. Her daughters, Winona and Ashley, put out a statement saying that they are heartbroken that their mother had died from mental illness, is how they phrased it. And they're asking for privacy and said they will not be saying anymore. But the timing on it is so sad because the very next day, the Judds were going to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yes.
They were supposed to go out on a big tour.
They had a big farewell tour planned. No, it's tragic. I know she'd been grappling with a lot of issues. And so,
No, she had been very candid about that. And so if that is helpful to anybody else who has been struggling, perhaps there was a bit of a silver lining, but they had a whole bunch of tributes. And there's a great video of Brandi Carlile singing "Love Can Build a Bridge," just hanging out with her acoustic guitar, singing in the backyard. So RIP Naomi Judd.